Going to the air and play action. Take a deep shot. Joshua Tomas! One play. Touchdown.
Yeah, I like seeing you smile like that. You're nodding your head. That's pretty good.
Yes, sir.
Josh Tomas, the Bay Area Panthers wide receiver. Hey, first of all, thank you for your time. And how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on here. How you doing?
Awesome. Hey, obviously this last week, pretty difficult, even though 11-3, still number one in the West, but coming off a heartbreaking loss to Northern Arizona, blowing a 25-point lead, 23 in the fourth. Was there a lesson in there for you about closing the door, never letting up, never relaxing?
Yeah. So obviously my rookie year, I never seen a 25-point lead get blown up that quick. So definitely introduced me to a different perspective of the game. One thing we can do better is not take our foot off their necks, basically keep applying pressure throughout the entire game, not getting lax, getting comfortable, because a 25-point lead obviously isn't enough in an indoor league.
Yeah. Coach Keefe has been saying all year, hey, we've got a third quarter problem in terms of being able to be consistent and finish things off. Is it something that you have to have just a mindset for, or something that you practice? You know, how does that work?
Yeah, it's definitely something you have to have a mindset for. I think going out in the game, we're all fired up, ready to go ball out. Then we get a decent lead going into halftime most of the time and come out second half just a little slow, not like how we are supposed to, being fast, physical throughout the entire game. We want to play every quarter like it's the fourth quarter, and we don't do that starting the second half these past few weeks.
Yeah, that was a wild sequence. A couple of onside kicks recovered, guy drop kicking everything, and it finally led to this moment. I want to get your thoughts.
Axel Perez's kick goes through the uprights for the deuce.
I know I was there. I was stunned. What about you?
I was in disbelief. I was the one back there. And once I seen the ball kick, I seen the trajectory of the ball, I just knew it was going in. It was a matter of it was close enough to where it looked like it could be either this short or just barely making it through. And he made it, so I got to tip my hat to him. They definitely had God and extra angels on their side that night.
Yeah, a lot of things working for that team for a lot of reasons. So that said, the focus this week, and I don't want you to tell me everything that's been said in the locker room, but what about the intensity? What about the attention to detail as you get ramped up for Duke City?
This week, we know going into this week, Duke City is a lot more physical team than we expected. The first time we played them, we only won by 2 points. Kind of caught us by surprise. So going into this week, we had to obviously brush off what happened last week. It's a loss. Got to learn from it, grow from it, and keep pushing forward. Can't harp on the bad moments for too long. Just keep pushing forward, and we had to grind it out this week. Coach Keefe made practice a little more intense this week, definitely. Focused a lot more on team periods throughout the entirety of the practice. And it was a great week of practice. I think this was honestly our best week of practice all season.
Hey, for you, I think it's been a great life lesson when you talk about patience, right? You're trying to be patient and get to the next level, but also patient to get some run on this team. Because you were just running back kicks at the beginning of the year. It's taking you a while before you got some reps on the field. What has that taught you? What have you learned about yourself?
Man, this has been a roller coaster season for me. I know what I'm capable of and what I'm bringing to the table, but I have to prove myself. I haven't shown anybody what I'm capable of. What I did in colleges in the past, we're playing professional ball now, so I can't just bank off of what I did based on what I'm doing now. So throughout the season, I got the kick return, not too much offensive plays until Pierre went down. for a couple weeks throughout the season, and I stepped up. I had a good game, my first game against San Diego. Then we turned around and played San Diego again the next game, and I had a couple mental errors, and I ended up Coach Wooten. He couldn't have, like, at a professional level, we can't have that. So those mistakes kind of pushed me back, and we brought in another receiver. He stepped in for a while, and I just had to put my mistakes behind me and grow from it. I couldn't harp on it for too long. So it humbled me, really. It really humbled me because I made mistakes that I never really made before in my entire career, and I don't know why I did it now. But like I said, everything is a lesson. You got to learn from it and grow from it. So once I made those mistakes, took that into account, applied it to everything going forward, it just gave me extra fuel to my fire. Once they brought in another receiver, he took that spot over, and I kind of got pushed to the back a little bit, I felt like, and I just had to keep proving myself each and every day, showing up to practice, grinding it out, not saying much, not complaining. I understand the situation. You know, this is professional football. We can't have those mistakes at all. So if you can't get the job done, next man up. So I just always kept that in the back of my head, and it was just every day just drove me to go harder and harder. And Coach Wooden would be on my case a lot throughout the season, and it was getting to me a lot, honestly. Had me questioning myself, questioning my worth, you know, at times. But then I stopped allowing it to affect me in a negative way and looked at it in a positive outlet as maybe he sees so much potential in me that he's pushing me harder to break through this, that I'm through what I'm going through right now. And ever since then, I always looked at everything in a positive perspective, and now everything is working out in my favor. And I can't thank God enough for that. My teammates that know what I've been going through, uplifting me every single day. And I'm just thankful for everything.
Who are the folks specifically that you lean on during these dark times for you, where you wonder if you can do it?
I spend a lot of time with myself. I find myself gravitating towards God more. I didn't really grow up too religious, but with everything going on the past couple of years, I've definitely been gravitating towards God much more. Definitely talked to my mom. I've gotten really close with a couple of my teammates, Joe Fouché, Sharp, LaQuinston Sharp, Felix, JT, a couple other guys, you know, and they always been there for me and uplift me. Definitely try to keep my family close, talk to them as much as possible. Sure.
You mentioned family, and for a football team, any team that's really good, they always talk about family.
Yep.
What about the locker room vibe and the connection you have with these guys, and how important does that translate to the field?
Man, honestly, this is probably the best team I played for as far as a brotherhood. The team camaraderie is just amazing. I've never been a part of a team where each and every individual on the team gets along like very well. Like I've been a part of teams where it's a lot of like envy, animosity, or everybody is just separate, you know. Selective groups, like in college, everybody at Georgetown, everybody was just like pretty separate. You divided it up into your little group, couple guys. But this team, definitely something special. And with that great brotherhood, it translated over to the field because we know that we can trust the guy next to us to do their 1/8 of the job on the field for every single play.
Hey,
you're always going to get the best out of your teammates and know that they're going to push you and uplift you when things go wrong.
Has the focus all year been defend the championship? What about your mindset? Obviously, there's also a thought process, hey, let's get to the next level and go get paid. But what about getting that ring? How important is that to you?
I'm a rookie. I'm trying to take it all right away, and obviously we got a huge target on our back being a defending champion. So I want to make sure that we're protecting that. Don't allow anybody to come take that from us. And I hate losing more than anything in the world. So I got to win everything we're doing is building towards a win. Obviously, end goal championship, but we got to take it 1 week at a time. So the objective is to go 1-0 each and every day and each and every week.
And obviously, you've been trying to prove yourself for a long time. Maybe he's not big enough or he's not fast enough, whatever it is. But you at Georgetown had a tremendous career. In fact, you were the FCS statistical champion with 100 catches, over 1,200 yards. We used the phrase you were blowing up. What did you learn about yourself for that year? And what were your expectations coming out of college, coming out of FCS football?
And this was a difficult time for me going into this last year. I actually entered the portal trying to seize a better opportunity, but not too much came my way, really nothing at all. So I made the commitment to stay. And obviously at Georgetown, we have not had a good history of winning. I didn't have a single winning season at Georgetown, but I made a commitment my last year, and I was committed to winning. I was committed to the team. I've been there for 3 years prior, 3.5 years prior. So my main focus was to try to build for the future. Now, whether that's like me doing everything, like special team wise, offense wise, like I do whatever it takes. I'll go play defense if you needed me to, you know? So my main goal was to just make sure that the younger guys build the right mindset to help build the program up, you know. And then my last year we went, I want to say 1-10 or 2-9 or something like that. So we didn't have really any wins at all, but I was thinking bigger picture, you know, helping. I wanted to make sure the program would just blow up a little bit. When you think of Georgetown, you don't even think of a football team. Like when I got the offer, I had no idea they even had a football team. So it's no respect when it comes to Georgetown. But I just knew I had the ball out and I was going to get on boys my all each and every day in practice. I treated every single practice like it was a game day. That way when I got to the game day, it was just natural for me, you know. And them boys knew they were going to get my all. So did that. End goal, obviously, is to get to the NFL. So I did everything I can to have the season that I did. And like I said, professional ball, you can't just bank off stats. I went to my pro day. I got invited to the University of Maryland's pro day. It was good. I feel like I had a great day, a pretty good day, I should say. I was training around like a 4.4, low 4.5 range for my 40. When I got there, they clocked me at a 4.67. Like I was in complete shock because when I was training, it was all laser time, and then they do hand time. You know, it's give or take, good hand or bad hand. You never know. Then they average it out. My coaches were there. They clocked me at a 4.52, I think was the slowest. And, you know, that just made me lose all attention. I was talking to a lot of scouts were coming to my practices, you know, pulling me out of classes and stuff like that. So I feel like I had a great shot at least a rookie minicamp invite. And with that 40, once I got it, I just started, the tears just started rolling down because I already knew, you know, I already knew what was about to happen. And then I got an invite to the Edmonton Elks, the CFL team, Edmonton Elks camp. I think it was 2 weeks later, and I ran a 4.47. So, like, I was just confused on how, like, they clocked me so high. But, no, it's just a little adversity, nothing I haven't handled in my life before. So, pretty used to it. Went home, went back to Chicago, you know, reality hit. So, working jobs, coaching at my high school, bills don't stop. So I got to make some money. So the training kind of died down. I wasn't hearing from anybody at all. And I wouldn't necessarily say I was giving up on football, but I had to keep pushing forward with life. And I just couldn't dedicate all my time to training. Really, I had not any time at all to train. I would work out like lifting wise to maintain my frame. But other than that, not too much receiver training. Then randomly out the blue, I get a call from Coach Keith. And I didn't answer at first because I usually don't answer numbers that I don't know. And he left a voicemail. The name sounded familiar. I was a little confused. Then it clicked. Wes Bowers from Georgetown. He went to Georgetown with me. I knew he played here last year for his rookie year, won a championship. So I hit him up and asked him, does he know who he is? He said, it's Rob Key. That's my head coach. I'm old. So I called Coach Keith back instantly. And it's been nothing but a blessing since that day.
Absolutely. To make that next level and get back to where you want to be, what have you been told? I guess maybe you give me a hint. 40 time, is that really it? That's crazy. Because I told Pierre Williams this too, because he put up great numbers and his 40 time wasn't where he wanted it to be. It's like, hey man, watch the film, watch the production. Let your eyes tell you rather than stopwatch and how someone looks in their underwear.
Really, honestly. And their drive, their mindset. I mean, that separates you from them all right there. But hey, I'm cool with the challenge. I take it on head first. We're going to keep fighting.
Hey, JT, we were talking before we started the show, and you said, hey, I got a half hour or whatever. I got to train some kids. So tell me about what you do away from the Panthers.
So I work with the community a little bit. We do, so out here where I'm staying, they have a youth team. They have probably about 100 kids out, or probably over 100 kids out there. We train Monday through Thursday. And I probably train about 40 receivers every day. Youth age, it ranges from 7 to high school mainly.
Is that rewarding for you? Kind of paying it
absolutely. I love translating my knowledge over, especially to a younger kid who's like just now starting out, because it's easier to start from the basics and build them from the ground up, So I love that. Like, that really fulfills my heart for sure, being able to get back to the community, help them out as much as possible, because it's not really too many trainers out here in this specific area around San Jose, receiver-wise. So me being able to kind of be that source for them, it's a wonderful feeling.
When you were a little kid coming up, learning to love football, who did you admire playing at that high level?
So I started out but most of my football career was playing quarterback. And somebody that I really looked up to was Mike Vick and Deshaun Jackson. I love Mike Vick. I was a scrambling quarterback. So him putting on the moves, that's basically who I kind of modeled my game after. You barely see me throw it, but I'm definitely going to run it. We're going to get the first down and more, because I'm trying to score every single time the ball in my hand. So Mike Vick definitely, but I wouldn't necessarily say I really focused too much on the NFL. I was just playing for fun with my friends. I was more of a baseball player. I focused more on baseball, really. Well, I wouldn't say I focused more on it, but I was better at baseball, so that was like where my mom and my uncle kind of pushed on me more, but football attracted me more because of the contact, and that's the sport all of my friends played. So that's all I wanted to do. Yeah. But I had a big brother, Laquan Treadwell. That's who I looked up to. He was probably the best. Just seeing it in person from that age all the way up to the NFL. Yeah, he was somebody I definitely looked up to. He was a good role model to me for sure my whole life.
Hey, one more thing on the adjustment to the IFL game. Receivers talk about the wall. We've seen JT climbing on the wall, Jazaric going over the wall. What about for you, just dealing with the smaller field, the 8 guys out there and the wall?
It was an adjustment for sure. Real tight, but I'm a small guy, and I got a lot of wiggle to me. So just being shifty it's a fun game, and I feel like it's honestly better for receivers or just skill positions in general, because offensively speaking, this is more of like you have to find the smallest creases and hit them. And then imagine when we get back to the outdoor game and we got all this space, I feel like it's just going to be so much easier for us. But as far as the wall, I personally haven't felt it yet. I hope I don't ever feel it, but it's all part of the game. Just got to take it. Just got to take it.
Undefeated, right? The wall's undefeated.
Throw to the ball.
Yeah. Hey, you're pretty good at this. We'll have to chat again sometime. I appreciate your time.
You know, that's actually funny you say that. I'm not too good with interviews, I feel like.
Really? You kidding me? You were awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Joshua, the best interviews are conversations. So it's not I ask, you ask. We're just talking, and I thought you were fantastic, man.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you having me on here, too. It's definitely a blessing.
I got you. Panthers wide receiver Joshua Tomas.